how you slice it, impact investing is on the rise around the world. So, could this mean it's going to be the new normal? Well, I pose this and more to Daniel Perroud. He's BlueOrchard's Global Head of Business Development. Hi, Daniel. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thanks for having me, Ana Maria.
Now, one of the fun parts for me about doing this series is always the locations, right? We're never quite sure where we're going to meet our next guest. And in this case, we're not 20,000 leagues under the sea, and we're not in the center of the earth, but we are stories above the city of Zurich. So my question to you is, what are we doing here?
Yeah, so Ana Maria, we're here today in the Jules Verne bar, also known as the Panorama bar, which has a breathtaking view over the lake, the Alps, and the city of Zurich. And just across the river is the ETH, which is educating the next generation of critical, innovative thinkers. And it has such an inspiring research hub that I thought it would be an interesting place to discuss how millennials are driving the growth of the impact investment industry.
Okay, all right, so this was going to be my next question. What does ETH, a world-renowned university, have to do with impact investing?
Well, Ana Maria, I think we're really living in a decade of structural shift, of transfer of trillions of wealth from baby boomers to millennials. And what is even more important is the mindset that is changing. So millennials are really looking not only at the financial return, but also at the social and environmental return. So they want to do good by doing well. And that is a global phenomenon. So while historically it's been limited to Europe, we see really the interest now picking up in the US, but also in Asia. And just to give you one anecdote, last year we had an interesting meeting with a family office in Southern Europe, and the CIO welcomed us in the conference room and said, I have absolutely no interest in impact investing, but the grandson of the principal wants to shift his assets into impact. And I think this is a great sign on how things are moving currently.
So is this mind shift the reason that investors are now increasingly considering impact investments?
Yeah, I think what you see with millennials is that they want to express their values through their investments. So they want to express their social, environmental, political values through their investments, and they see their investments as a tool for change. What is also very important to stress is that they oppose the view of a trade-off between the financial return and the impact. And that is a big change today.
So from your experience, what is more important to the investors? Is it the impact or is it the return?
So I think, Ana Maria, what is at BlueOrchard, what is really important now, our conviction is that generating attractive returns is of paramount importance to attract more assets in the impact field. And so the discussions we have with investors is they look at the financial return and the social environmental return of their investments. So they would put it at the same level. Nonetheless, obviously, there are also investors that are impact first, so they are more driven by the impact of their investment and would be, less focused on the financial return.
And one of these investors is actually Handelsbanken, one of Sweden's largest banks and a long-standing partner of BlueOrchard. And actually, earlier I had the opportunity to speak to Johan Guggi, who you probably know, CIO of Multi-Manager Solutions, about their motivation for getting into impact investing. Let's take a listen. Hi, Johan. Thank you so much for being with us from Stockholm. All right, tell me, from your perspective, why do private investors consider impact investing?
The goal for us as an investor is, of course, to generate long-term returns for our customers. And for us, that requires an investment in sustainable and responsible companies, because in our opinion, they will be the most profitable companies in the long run.
Handelsbanken has been a pioneer, right? So what is the corporate strategy, the approach, the aspiration for impact investing?
As I said, we believe in the long run that sustainability will be rewarded. And that is also why we think, as an asset manager, has a role to play in the realization of the SDG goals and the Paris Agreement. And we have set our internal goals to be able to achieve that. And that is why we allocate capital to investments that contribute to these goals. That is, as I said, as both from a return perspective, but also as a contribution to these goals.
As I understand it, impact investing is on the rise in the Nordic region. So what does that market look like?
Our client base have come a long way on the sustainability journey. And for us and for many of our competitors, sustainability is the backbone of our processes. We need to do that. That is a must-have in our area. And the next level of that is going into more of the impact area in the market. So we have clients with high demands, and that for us as an asset manager means that we need to meet them both financially and creating a more sustainable environment for all of us.
Why have you decided to partner with BlueOrchard?
That goes back many years now. We started looking into the area of microfinance investments, and we started doing our due diligence. And the deeper we got into that process with BlueOrchard, the more impressed we were with the high standards within the firm, a very systematic approach toward impact, very clear process and methodology. And we have now been invested in the microfinance fund for many years, and we're still very impressed with the work BlueOrchard have done and are doing on behalf of all of their clients.
Thank you very much, Johan, for your time and for your insights.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So I think you'll agree that this conversation with Handelsbanken really shows a strong commitment on behalf of private investors towards impact investing. But we also know that an important part of this for the investors is, in fact, the measurement of the impact. How is BlueOrchard handling this?
No, absolutely, Ana Maria. This is an absolutely crucial aspect of the impact investment industry, is the measurability of the investments. And in the last 20 years of our activities, we've really developed systems management, impact management and measurement systems within BlueOrchard that we have enhanced, strengthened in the last couple of years in order really to be able to assess the impact of our investments and to report back with a lot of transparency to our investors. And I think the granularity of the information that we are able to report to investors is really very strong.
And as I understand it, BlueOrchard has its own in-house tool for measurement.
Absolutely. This tool is called B-Impact, and that has evolved over the last 20 years and is really the tool that we use across the different asset classes.
You know, I came across a headline recently that said, impact investing, is it reinventing capitalism? Now, I want your thoughts on. I realize it's this is a weighty topic, and we're not in an economics conference. But what are your initial thoughts when you hear that?
I would say that this might be a little bit of an overstatement. Nonetheless, I think that the COVID pandemic has really shown the fragility and dysfunctionality of our economic system, and that impact investing is really tackling the global challenges across the globe, and it is certainly actively contributing to this transformational change that we are undergoing.
So before we go, I would like to come back to this idea of impact investing becoming the new normal. What are your thoughts on this?
I totally share this view. I think at some point it will become the new normal. I think there is certainly still a need for more democratization, more standards, but I think we at BlueOrchard are relentlessly working on this, and we want to make it happen as soon as possible.
Are we talking in our children's lifetimes?
Oh, I'm sure our children will be there to see impact as the new normal.
Daniel, thank you so much for joining us today. It was a real pleasure. Thank you for your insights.
Thank you very much, Ana Maria.
And as always, thanks to all of you for tuning in and for watching us. Remember, stay tuned to this space for more on impact investing and, of course, future Pioneer Talks. We'll see you then.